we are going to be doing part 2 of revamping my doll's wardrobe, and this might be a long video, I don't know. Might be just me talking, but we'll see. Anyhow, I'm gonna first show you guys what I've been up to recently in like my most recent sewing projects, because I honestly could not wait to start filming this and just completed a bunch of things. Well, a few things. And then, so the first thing I did was this like skirt. I'm pretty sure I used the pattern from Infinity Doll Studio. I think that's what it's called. Put it on the screen. But I did one slit on the side, and it's in this like yellow floral fabric. And I also put lace on the bottom. I was debating whether to put it on the bottom or like the top. Have you ever seen like those skirts that like those little lace trim on the top? I like that, it's so cute. But anyways, this took me like an hour. So the next thing I did was this pleated skirt. If you saw my last video, you saw Josefina in this outfit with the pleated skirt, and I honestly like it. It's really cute. The one thing is that like I can never get it to hug around my doll's waist the way I want it to, so it lays like flat. So I have to think of a way to do something about that. So what I have in the back right now is that it's just held on by Velcro, like a long strip of Velcro. I might have to like adjust the pattern to make it like fit tighter around the waist. So yeah, but I think it turned out pretty cute. And then we have Julie, and she's wearing this black like crop top. It's made out of this rib material. I actually upcycled a shirt that I had to make this, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm actually gonna make matching like shorts, so it's kind of like a loungewear set, because I honestly like that, because my dolls don't have a lot of PJs or like lounging clothes to just lounge in. And then it has Velcro on the back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But today I am going to be sewing some things with the fabric that I have. Okay, so we have this plaid fabric, and I already cut out the skirt pattern that I had. I actually made it myself, so I have no idea if this works or not, but here are like the panels, and then I have the waistband. So I think I'm going to complete that. It might turn out a little short, which I don't like, but we'll see if that passes or not. And then I also have this fabric from my previous video, my other part 1 video, and I have not done this because, to be honest, I'm a procrastinator and I do not do things the time I want to do them. So I still have all this, and I wanted to make like a matching like set of like these pants and like a button-up shirt, because I honestly like matching sets. Anyways, so we have that, and then we have the rest of this fabric that I made the button-up shirt with. I'm planning on making matching pants as well, with like just elastic, simple. And then we have the rest of that fabric, the rib knit fabric. I'm gonna make, as I said before, the shorts. I'm gonna have all this fabric, but I don't think I'm gonna use it right now because I have no clue what to do with it. Oh yeah, this is the button-up that I had from my last video, but I never put buttons on it. It's literally been a year and I've never put buttons on it. But I went to Joann's and I got buttons. So I'm gonna put sew some on the side here, and then I'm also gonna sew like smaller ones on the cuffs, and it's gonna be like actually like functioning with Velcro, so not with buttons, because that's a whole mess. And then I have this last things. These are shirts. I'm going to be recycling them. Yeah, that's what I do now. Yeah. So I'm going to be, maybe with this one, what I'm thinking is like an oversized shirt or an oversized like long sleeve shirt with like this like ribbing thing like as the cuffs, like that. I have a shirt like that that I made too. So then I have this other shirt It's not the best design on a shirt. I don't really like stripes too much. So I might just do like a long sleeve shirt on this because I'm not quite sure what else to do. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna get to sewing. I'm gonna go to voiceover and I'll show you what I'm gonna be sewing first. The first thing I'm going to be doing is sewing the plaid skirt, and I'm going to start by zigzagging and sewing the sides together. Throughout this video, I'm going to be giving you guys tips to make your doll clothes look more cleaner and last longer. The first tip is to make sure to always remember to backstitch at the beginning and end of a seam. As you can see here, that's what I'm doing, and all I'm doing is stitching a few stitches back. This will make sure that the seam does not come apart from the ends and will make the garment last longer. This is definitely a basic tip, but is very important to remember. I sometimes forget to do this and I have to go back and do it because it helps a lot. So remember to backstitch. After I have finished stitching the sides of the skirt together, I'm going to be attaching the waistband of the skirt. I like to use elastic instead of Velcro because it fits better on all my dolls since some of them have different body sizes. It can honestly get annoying when some of my doll clothes doesn't fit on all the dolls, so this is definitely a good option if you have this problem. Here is the final result of the plaid skirt. I think it's really cute and thankfully not too short on my doll. I think it's more of a fall piece, but I still can dress it up for the season. The next thing I did was make a pattern for the matching ribbed black shorts I was going to make. This took a while and I usually just buy a pattern off Etsy, but I'm kind of saving money to work on my dollhouse, so I decided to use a shorts pattern I already had and just use that as the base for my new pattern. I had to make 2 prototypes to get the final pattern. I actually ended up keeping this prototype because I really like the striped shorts and pants trend that's been happening. I wished it was a different color than orange, but it actually turned out really cute after I added some buttons in the front for a boxer shorts look. But now that I have my pattern, I'm going to cut out my pieces for the shorts. I kind of already mentioned this, but the next tip is to make prototypes of the clothing before actually creating the final garment. This way, if you're making a pattern like me, you can test it out or you can get used to the new pattern you're using and make less mistakes on your final garment. I also recommend using scrap fabric because it's a good way to get rid of it and you can save more of the fabric that you're going to use. I also wanted to mention that on this kind of fabric that is ribbed or has a pattern like stripes, you want to cut out your pattern pieces all the same way. I have done this mistake all the time. It's so annoying because I don't notice until I actually assemble it. And I actually did this when I was making the striped shorts, but thankfully that was a prototype and I had more of that fabric. Now I'm going to get started on sewing the shorts together. First I am sewing the front and back seams together before I sew the inseam and side seams. This fabric in particular, since it's stretchy and thin, it can be hard to sew the first stitches on the edge because it kind of gets caught inside, which is exactly what happened to me here. So instead of just making a big hole in the fabric, I would just start more forward, if that makes sense, so that the petal is holding the edge of the fabric from coming inward, and then you can just backstitch and you should be fine to continue on. So after that whole mess, I'm going to sew the inseam of the short and then hem the bottom. I strongly recommend that you hem the shorts or pants before you completely assemble it. That way it's easier and you don't have to struggle with the small opening. Another tip is to cut the thread off the top and bottom of a seam like I am doing here immediately after sewing. If you want your doll clothes to look more cleaner and more professional, you should cut it so it doesn't get in the way when you're sewing other seams. I am now going to attach the waistband, which is the last step, and in my opinion, I think it's the best to use elastic when working with this kind of stretchy and ribbed fabric. The next tip I have for you guys is to iron the garment when you are sewing and when you are done. This will help make the hems lay flat to make it easier to sew and look more professional in the end. I will sometimes skip this step when I'm sewing because it does take a little bit more time, but I will do it when it is really needed because it does help a lot. I also like to iron the garment when it is finished so it looks neater. Here is how the shorts turned out, and I paired it with the matching shirt as a cute lounge set. And I also wanted to add a bow using ribbon, but I sadly don't have any black ribbon, so I couldn't do that at the moment. Next, I am going to be sewing another pair of shorts that will match the button-up shirt that I made in part 1 of this video. To make sure it matches, I am going to be using the same red thread for the hems. The last tip I have for you guys is to finish the raw edges of the fabric. As I am showing you here, all I did was zigzag stitch the raw edge to keep the fabric from fraying, which makes the garment last longer and look better from the inside, which is just as important as looking good on the outside. These are the finished shorts, and I honestly feel like most of the clothes I am making for my dolls are more comfortable and casual, which is good because I don't have a lot of PJs for them. The last bottoms I'm going to be making is a pair of plaid wide leg PJ pants. I love this pants idea because it reminds me of the Parent Trap. I love Hallie Parker's comfy camp outfit, so I was really excited to make these pants. I used the same lawn shorts pattern for this and just extended the pattern to be pants. And speaking of the Parent Trap, I feel like one day I'm going to have to sew the clothes that were in the movies for my dolls because I absolutely love the fashion. I think it would be really cute to sew a summer camp collection. I kind of had a little bit of trouble finishing the waistband of the pants because of a careless mistake, but it was definitely worth it because they are so cute and I'm so happy with how they turned out. The last two things I'm going to be making are two tops. They're both going to be made with the heather gray shirt I had, and they are both going to have an off-the-shoulder neckline, which I have seen a lot more recently. To make the neckline wider, I just cut the sides off the standard shirt pattern to make it longer, meaning where the shoulders of my dolls would be. I made sure not to cut down and make the neckline deeper, if that makes any sense. The first one I made is a simple oversized t-shirt with a hemmed neckline, and the other one I made was a long sleeves and was cuffed with the ribbed fabric at the waist and bottom of the top. Also, I kept the neckline with the raw edge. I did want to add a graphic to each of them, but my printer wasn't working with the transfer paper I had for some reason, but hopefully I will be able to do that soon because I think that would be really cute.